Have you ever stopped to think about the dumb things you used to do when you were younger in relationships and just shake your head like, damn? There was this one time in college when I had to DJ a party in Richmond, Virginia. Being from New York and going to school in Hampton, I didn't know many people outside of those two cities. Now, I arranged for my boys to come, just for protection and reinforcement. Though Gia attended all of my parties with me while we were in school, this particular time, the call was filled with my security, and that meant she couldn't come. Because I was going to be away, I told her that she needed to stay home. She laughed and told me that she was going out that night to a party at the Armory with her girlfriends. I made it clear that under no circumstances was she allowed, yes, I said allowed, to go anywhere that night, and that was the end of the discussion. Gia finally gave in, and my friends and I headed to Richmond. I was well on the way to my party when my boy Sean, we call him Little Sean, my kids call him Little Daddy, he told me he saw Gia at the Armory. I know this couldn't be true because she agreed not to go. I took the next exit and headed back to Hampton so I could see for myself. I didn't know who was going to DJ that party that night in Richmond, but I did know it wasn't going to be me. When I got to the Armory, I walked in and I saw Gia grinding on some random dude. She looked up at me and I was furious. In less than 2 seconds, I went from seeing them dancing to picturing them in bed together. I could see the fear in Gia's face as I ran toward her. Next thing I knew, I was carrying Gia out of the club over my shoulder like I was Tarzan unleashing on her, yelling, cursing. I was mad. I was threatening her. How could she do this to me? No response was sufficient. I told her we were going home right then and there. She said she couldn't because she drove, and her friends weren't ready to go. I told her I didn't care how they got home, but we were leaving. No matter how much I yelled and had a fit, she didn't leave the club without her girls that night, and her girls weren't in a hurry to leave either. So for the rest of the night, I walked around the club with my arms around Gia or standing still, holding her in a bear hug, letting everyone know that was my girl.